Hello students, in the last class I had discussed endomembrane system. Along with that I discussed ribosomes. Today I will be starting with the cytoskeleton. So let's start with it. Now the cytoskeleton is supportive framework of protein fibers and tubules which perform several functions in the cells. This supportive framework which is present in the cell, it will provide definite shape to the cell. It will maintain shape of the cell. It will maintain the position of the cell organelles. Cyclosis, cell movement, chromosome movement, several functions they are performed by the components which are present in the cytoskeleton. तो cytoskeleton के बारे में सबसे पहले हम definition लिख लेते हैं. Cytoskeleton is supportive framework of protein fibers and tubules. अब जो साइटोस्केलेटन है इसके अंदर 3 कंपोनेंट्स प्रेजेंट है. Yes, 3 components they are there. That is empty, that is microtubule, MF, that is microfilament, IF, this is intermediate filaments. तो ये 3 कंपोनेंट्स प्रेजेंट है साइटोस्केलेटन के अंदर. सो नाउ व्हाट आई विल डू, आई विल बी कंपेयरिंग दीज 3 कंपोनेंट्स विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द कंपोजिशन एज वेल एज द फंक्शंस परफॉर्म्ड बाय देम. So let's start with this. Microtubule. Microtubule is a hollow structure. The diameter of the structure is 250 Armstrong. तो ये एक hollow cylinder की तरह है. Diameter 250 Armstrong है and it is made up of a globular protein. Microtubule के अंदर present है spherical globular protein. The globular proteins which are present, they are tubulin proteins. Let's write this information. So the microtubules, they are hollow structures having diameter of 250 Armstrong made up of globular protein. तो कौन सा globular protein है जो microtubule के अंदर present है? That is tubulin. Now the microtubules, they are the non-contractile component of the cytoskeleton. Microtubules के अंदर जो protein present है, that is non-contractile. So I will be writing here, they are the non-contractile components of the cytoskeleton. अब इनकी लोकेशन क्या है, पोजीशन क्या है? माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल्स दे आर वेल डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड इन द साइटोप्लाज्म में प्रेजेंट है. नाउ कमिंग टू द सेकंड कंपोनेंट ऑफ द साइटोस्केलेटन, दैट इज माइक्रोफिलामेंट्स. नाउ द माइक्रोफिलामेंट्स, दे आर नॉट hollow structures, they are solid structures. Yes, so these are solid rod like structures. अब ये जो फिलामेंट्स है इनका जो डायामीटर है दैट इज 50 to 60 Armstrong. Again made up of globular protein. Yes, they are made up of the globular protein. Now the globular protein which is associated here, that is actin. And due to the presence of the actin, keratin. Now the microfilaments, they are contractile in nature. So now they will represent the contractile components. Contractile components of the cytoskeleton, and again these microfilaments, they are distributed well in the cytoplasm. The last type, that is IF, intermediate filaments. अब ये जो IF है, intermediate filaments, again they have hollow structure. They have hollow structure having diameter of 100 Armstrong. So you can see here that the diameter of the intermediate filaments is in between the diameter of these two components of the cytoskeleton. तो देख रहे हैं आप यहाँ पर इसका डायमीटर कितना है 250, इसका है 50 to 60 और इस कंपोनेंट का जो डायमीटर है इन दोनों रेंज के बीच में है, in between है. That's why what is the name of this cytoskeleton? That is intermediate filaments. Now they are not made up of the globular proteins. They are generally made up of rod proteins, rod shaped proteins, like they are made up of keratin like protein, lamin protein. So they are the two types of the protein which are associated with the intermediate filaments. Now these components, they are again going to represent the non-contractile part of the cytoskeleton. And these components, they are distributed in the cytoplasm और cytoplasm के साथ साथ ये components nucleus के अंदर भी present है. Yes? So what is the position? Present in the cytoplasm. Along with the cytoplasm, they are present inside the nucleus also. तो ये जो तीन कंपोनेंट्स हैं, इनके हमने मेन फीचर यहाँ पर डिस्कस करे हैं. नाउ आई विल बी डिस्कसिंग सम ऑफ द इम्पोर्टेंट फंक्शंस एसोसिएटेड विद दीज थ्री कंपोनेंट्स. So now let's discuss the functions. Functions of the cytoskeleton, starting with the microtubule. Now one of the function associated with the microtubule is that they are involved in the cytokinesis. Cytokinesis, that is the division of the cytoplasm. They are involved in the cytokinesis in the plant cell. तो जब प्लांट सेल के अंदर साइटोकाइनेसिस होती है तो साइटोकाइनेसिस के टाइम पर एक स्ट्रक्चर फॉर्म होता है. दैट स्ट्रक्चर इज नोन एज सेल प्लेट. और ये सेल प्लेट कहां पर बनेगी? दैट इज डिसाइडेड बाय द माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल एग्रीगेशन. Yes. So you're getting this? In the plant cytokinesis, there is formation of a cell plate. और ये जो सेल प्लेट है ये कहां पर बनेगी? This is decided by the microtubules. जहां पर माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल एग्रीगेट करेंगे वहीं पर ही इस सेल प्लेट की फॉर्मेशन होगी. Now what is this cell plate? Which components of the cell wall it will form? That I will be dealing in detail in the next chapter, that is cell cycle and cell division. Now next function involved in the chromosome movement. So it's very well known to you that during the cell division, the chromosomes, they lie at the equatorial plate, right? Then what is this part of the chromosome? That is centromere. Centromere के ऊपर proteinaceous disc. Centromere के ऊपर proteinaceous disc. This proteinaceous disc, it is known as kinetochore. Yes, this is kinetochore. ये जो kinetochore है, इसके साथ spindle fibers की attachment होगी. There will be attachment to the spindle fibers. Yes, these are the spindle fibers. Spindle fibers, now they will exert the force and they will cause the movement of the chromatids present in the chromosome towards the opposite poles. तो ये जो दो क्रोमैटिड्स प्रेजेंट है ना क्रोमोसोम के अंदर, दे विल बी पुश्ड टुवर्ड्स द अपोजिट पोल ऑफ द सेल विद द हेल्प ऑफ द स्पिंडल फाइबर्स. सो यू कैन सी है कि क्रोमोसोम की मूवमेंट हुई, क्रोमैटिड्स की मूवमेंट हो रही है, और इन क्रोमैटिड्स की मूवमेंट के लिए कौन सा स्ट्रक्चर इन्वॉल्व है? द स्ट्रक्चर विच इज इन्वॉल्व हियर, दैट इज स्पिंडल फाइबर्स, एंड द स्पिंडल फाइबर्स दे आर मेड अप ऑफ माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल. यस, नेक्स्ट वन, दे आर इन्वॉल्व इन द सेल मूवमेंट. तो सेल मूवमेंट के अंदर जो लोकोमोटरी ऑर्गन्स इन्वॉल्व हैं, दैट इज सीलिया एंड फ्लैजिला. Cilia and flagella, they are involved in the cell movement, and the cilia and flagella, they are made up of again microtubule. Next one, involved in intracellular transport. So we had discussed this in the previous lecture that एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम है, एंडोप्लाज्मिक रेटिकुलम से वेसिकल्स रिलीज हुई. दीज वेसिकल्स दे विल फ्यूज विद द गोल्गी बॉडीज. गोल्जी बॉडीज है, इससे वेसिकल्स रिलीज हुई. दीज वेसिकल्स दे कैन बिकम द पार्ट ऑफ द प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन. तो आप देख रहे हैं ये ट्रांसपोर्ट हो रहा है वेसिकल्स का. The transport of the vesicle in the cell, transport of the material in the cell, it is performed due to the activity of the microtubules. Now coming to the next component, that is microfilaments. Now again the microfilaments, they are involved in the cytokinesis. They are involved in the cytokinesis, division of the cytoplasm, but you have to keep this in mind. They are involved in the cytokinesis now in animal cell. तो microtubules कहाँ पर help कर रहे हैं? Plant cell के अंदर. And the microfilaments, they are involved in the cytokinesis in the animal cell. Now the next one. They are responsible for cytoplasmic streaming. Around the vacuole, you know that in the eukaryotic cell, there is movement of the cytoplasm. The movement of the cytoplasm, it is known as cytoplasmic streaming. And the cytoplasmic streaming is due to the functionality of the microfilaments. The cytoplasmic streaming, it is also known as cyclosis, movement of cytoplasm. Another one, they will provide the support to the plasma membrane. जैसे मैंने ये plasma membrane बनाई है, yes, this is plasma membrane. Plasma membrane के नीचे एक sheet है, yes, प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन के नीचे एक शीट है. दिस शीट विच हैज बीन फॉर्म्ड हियर, दिस इज फॉर्म्ड बाय द माइक्रोफिलामेंट्स. तो ये जो शीट है ये माइक्रोफिलामेंट्स ने बनाई है. And this sheet which is present below the plasma membrane, that sheet will provide the support to the plasma membrane. तो ये plasma membrane को support provide करेगी. So due to this reason, this microfilaments, they are also known as stress fibers. Yes, due to this reason, they are known as stress fibers. Because they will prevent the plasma membrane, they will protect the plasma membrane to counteract any type of stress. That's why they are known as stress fibers. Now the next one, they are involved in the amoeboid movement. So it's very well known to all of you, during the amoeboid movement there is formation of a false foot. That false foot which is formed, that is known as pseudopodia. तो pseudopodia की formation के अंदर जो cytoskeleton का component help करेगा, that is microfilaments. Now the another function is that we have discussed the endocytosis. Yes, I had discussed endocytosis with you. Endocytosis के अंदर क्या होता है? Endocytosis के अंदर प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन है, उसका इन्वेजिनेशन होता है. तो जैसे ये प्लाज्मा मेम्ब्रेन है, राइट, इसका इन्वेजिनेशन होगा लाइक दिस. इन्वेजिनेशन के बाद there will be pinching of the plasma membrane from here, resulting in the formation of the vesicle. तो एंडोसाइटोसिस के अंदर क्या बन रहा है? वेसिकल बन रही है. This vesicle which is formed, that is due to the activity of the microfilaments. So the another function is that they will help in endocytosis. Now coming to the last component. Intermediate filaments. Intermediate filaments cytoplasm के अंदर भी present है. They are also present in the nucleus. Now in the cytoplasm they will maintain shape of cell. They will hold the cell organelles. They will hold the cell organelles, maintain the position of the cell organelles. Along with that, they are also present in cell-to-cell junctions. So cell-to-cell junctions क्या होती है? ये एक सेल को दूसरे सेल के साथ जोड़ती है. So they are also the part of cell-to-cell junctions. Now these intermediate filaments, they form a network around the nucleus. Yes, तो जैसे मैंने ये न्यूक्लियस बनाया है, राइट, तो न्यूक्लियस के आसपास एक नेटवर्क बनता है. ये जो नेटवर्क यहां पर बन रहा है, that is formed by the intermediate filaments. So we can say here that the intermediate filaments, they form a basket around the nucleus. Now these intermediate filaments, they are also present inside the nucleus. अब न्यूक्लियस के अंदर इंटरमीडिएट फिलामेंट्स का क्या फंक्शन है, what role they will perform there, that I will discuss while dealing with the nucleus. So this is about the functions of the three types of the components present in the cytoskeleton. Now after dealing with this, now I will be discussing microtubules in little bit of more detail. Now just now I have discussed that the microtubules, they are made up of the globular protein. The subunits which are present in the microtubule, that is globular protein. What is the name of that globular protein? That is tubulin. Now tubulins, they are of two types which are associated with the microtubule. तो दो तरह का ट्यूबुलिन है, that is alpha and beta tubulin. Now what happens? The alpha and beta tubulin, they are activated by GTP dependent kinases. They are activated by these enzymes, that is the GTP dependent kinases. So you might be knowing that the kinases, they are enzymes which are involved in phosphorylation. Phosphorylation is addition of phosphate group. So the function which they will perform, that is addition of phosphate group, phosphorylation. And this phosphate group is provided by GTP. Yes, this phosphate group is provided by GTP. That's why they are known as GTP dependent kinases. अब ये जो एंजाइम है ये फॉस्फोराइलेशन करेगा, फॉस्फोराइलेशन होगा इन सब यूनिट्स का, और फॉस्फोराइलेशन होने की वजह से नाउ दी सब यूनिट्स दे विल बी एक्टिवेटेड. And after the activation, now they will start showing the joining. तो ये एक दूसरे से जुड़ेंगी. These subunits, they will join alpha and beta, and after the joining, they result in the formation of dimer. So the tubulin dimer will be formed. अब ये जो dimer यहाँ पर form हुआ है, now the tubulin dimers, they will further polymerize. They will further polymerize and results in the formation of hollow cylinder, hollow structure. That structure is known as microtubule. So hollow structure will be formed, having the microtubules. So you can see here the alpha and beta subunits, they have shown the polymerization forming this microtubule. ये जो microtubule है इसका diameter है 250 Armstrong. Inside there is presence of hollow core. जो hollow core है इसका diameter है 150 Armstrong. और ये जो वॉल यहां पर दिखाई है इस सिलेंडर की, दैट वॉल इज मेड अप ऑफ दी माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल्स. अल्फा एंड बीटा सब यूनिट्स, दे आर प्रेजेंट एंड दे आर प्रेजेंट इन दी ऑल्टरनेट मैनर. सो यू कैन सी हियर कि जो वॉल है ये माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल की बनी हुई है, अंदर हॉलो कोर है, और ये जो माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल है मैंने इसमें यहां पर सिर्फ एक स्ट्रैंड दिखाया है. In the microtubule, I have shown only one longitudinal strand, but you please keep this in mind. इस पूरी wall के आसपास there is presence of 13 longitudinal strands. यहाँ पर सिर्फ एक लॉन्गिट्यूडनल स्ट्रैंड बनाया है, पर पूरी वॉल के आसपास देयर विल बी प्रेजेंस ऑफ 13 longitudinal strands. These longitudinal strands, which are the part of the wall of microtubule, these strands, they are known as protofilaments. Protofilaments. तो यहां पर कितने प्रोटोफिलामेंट्स माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल के साथ एसोसिएटेड है? 13 प्रोटोफिलामेंट्स दे आर एसोसिएटेड. ना यहां पर हमने ये पढ़ा कि ये जो काइनेजेस है, दीज काइनेजेस they are dependent upon the GTP which will cause the activation of the tubulin protein. इन काइनेजेस को एक्टिवेट करने के लिए, for the activation of these kinases, there is requirement of calcium. कैल्शियम की रिक्वायरमेंट है, उसके साथ साथ कैलमोडुलिन. तो ये जो मैंने यहां पर दो कंपोनेंट्स का नाम लिखा, कैल्शियम एंड कैलमोडुलिन, दे आर इन्वॉल्व इन द एक्टिवेशन ऑफ द एंजाइम. व्हाट आर दीज एंजाइम? दैट इज काइनेसिस एंजाइम. ना जिस एरिया के अंदर, जिस प्लेस के अंदर माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल की फॉर्मेशन होगी, माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल की ग्रोथ होगी, इन एरियाज को हम कहते हैं एमटीओसी. यस, एमटीओसी. सो द फुल फॉर्म फॉर दिस इज माइक्रोट्यूब्यूल organizing centers. These are the centers, these are the places where there will be growth, there will be formation of the microtubules. The another name of the MTOC, they are also known as MTG. MTG, that is microtubule generators. They are also known as nucleating centers. Right? So these all are the alternative names of the areas where the growth of the microtubule will occur. अब ये जो MTOC है, इसका काम कौन करेगा? Who will function like the MTOC? The function of the MTOC, one, it is performed by the basal bodies. बेसल बॉडी से सीलिया और फ्लैजिला अराइज होते हैं, राइट. सेकेंड वन, द फंक्शन इज परफॉर्म्ड बाय द काइनेटोकोर. Just now I had discussed this. Kinetochore is a proteinaceous disc present over the centromere. So proteinaceous disc है जो centromere के ऊपर present है. Next one is satellites or mazules around the centriole. So satellite mazules, they are present around the centriole and they are going to work, they are going to function like MTOC. तो अब ये satellite क्या होता है, इसको समझने के लिए now I will be discussing the structure of the centriole in detail. तो यहां तक जो हमने साइटोस्केलेटन पढ़ा है, it is very much clear to all of you. So let's proceed towards the structure of centriole.